Okay, folks, so let's talk about crimes. Of course, when criminal acts are being committed, there's a certain type of gender, ethnicity, income, and education level that are more common that we're seeing in studies and statistics. And we'll delve into that. Urban life definitely is more impactful in the whole criminal scene than you will see more in the suburban life. Drug addiction plays a big role in those who commit criminal crimes and acts against the penal code. And access to weapons. That's something else that we'll delve into. Guns and crime. So, is the public safer with fewer or more guns? That's a question that we continue to see over and over. We see cities like Houston versus cities like Chicago. Those of us in Texas are very pro-gun. Not all of us, but a majority of us. Chicago, they have very stringent, very strict laws and getting access to guns, but yet their gun crimes are very high. So you'll see many protests. One example was when UT students protested a new law allowing students to carry guns on campus. The legislature also passed a separate law allowing license holders to carry handguns openly in public spaces, including state-run mental institutions. Texas was one of the last states to actually open carry of handguns. And I know a lot of people find that surprising because, again, we are very pro-gun. Not all, but a lot of us are in Texas. But we were surprisingly one of the last states to allow open carry in Texas. The debate continues. Statistics show arguments either way. Do the fact that we are allowed to carry guns, does that contribute to our crimes? The highest rates of victimization occur in poor sections in cities, often in neighborhoods against friends and families of the criminal. Victims have the right to be informed of investigations and proceedings, and that's why we have certain rights, Miranda laws, and we're going to go into all of that. But I think for the point of this particular section, the highest rates of victimization does occur in the poorest sections of our cities and also against our own friends and neighbors. I mentioned that we do have due process whenever you are being investigated or being considered as a criminal. So, due process is the proper procedures designed to promote justice and protect the individual from the government. And so due process is essential in making sure that we guarantee fairness before the government may deprive a person of life, liberty, and property. So in other words, if you are being accused of a crime, there is a due process that we have to make sure that we adhere to. Probable cause. We talked about this very briefly before. You have to have sufficient evidence, information to lead to a reasonable person to believe that the evidence is probably contained on the premises, and thus a warrant can be issued. You can't just go into someone's home and say, I'm going to search your property, I'm going to search your car. There has to be some type of information to lead to a reasonable person to believe that there will be evidence based on the premises that you are searching. Exclusionary rule. That is evidence required in the violation of the Fourth Amendment, and you may not be admitted into federal courts.